Is it sequence, is it dynamic, is it specific?
Well, we ended with box of tiger's ears, I
Uh-huh.
believe.
Uh-huh,
So what's the next move after that?
heel kick left.
Okay.
Is that what you wanna work on? Heel kick left?
Box of tiger's ears and.
Box of tiger's ears into heel kick left. Well, can I see it? Can I
Unless
see?
somebody else wants.
No,
to.
that's fine. On your own, what I would like to do, have you done box of tiger's ears at all?
Oh,
Okay. Practice box of tiger's ears a couple of times, and I'm gonna give her a quick preview.
Where do you want us to start?
Wherever you like, just carve out some space, and then, so this isn't like sequenced together, this is just practice your,
From here?
heel kick right to box of tiger's ears. That's correct. So, preview, you've been doing some kicks, right? In the master class, section a little bit? No.
It's just been me,
So
so
what
we've been
is it?
jumping around.
Okay,
It's just been previewing.
cool. So we'll jump around. There's a move called box of
A lot of
tiger's
heel
ears, and
turn.
it's in the major.
I don't
kicking
keep doing
section.
that.
Yeah, me too, I just did it.
I'm gonna do it if I
Mine
can,
is
it
section,
work.
major kicking
It
section.
doesn't work.
You don't need to know any of that. These are heel kicks. And there's a heel kick that does a quarter turn into
I don't know if
A
I'm
knee
doing too much
strike
of the body, because I feel
and-
straight here.
in your box. So,
Oh, for me.
the quick and dirty version of how to get into this is heel kick. And then
Yeah.
you're gonna kind of use this
Yeah, it's
knee
going back to my skating
to
days.
spring up with
Yeah,
the arms
I
down
was
as I
thinking of that
turn.
too.
And so there it is, exactly. And then you step out to the diagonal. Yep, that's exactly right. So it's heel kick. Box of tiger's ears. Hmm?
That's interesting.
Interesting, I didn't know I Tai Chi, it's like, Tai Chi, this one actually feels kind of like, all right, kick. And box of tiger's ears. Couple more.
I felt good.
Yep.
There's one more.
Yep.
One of these
I want to
days.
see that turn one more time, please. See if I can help you.
I need to lose some weight.
I don't think it's that.
No?
I know.
You good?
Let me see, one more time.
Maybe I'm not lifting up enough.
Yeah. Try. Without the hands or anything else. Try. Just bring the knee up and turn quarter turn. That's it. But, yeah, so without falling, that's, if possible.
Really?
I know. But that's a very common thing, is to turn and immediately land into it. So what we're trying to work on is suspend it so that you have the choice of being able to hang out with your,
So it's only a quarter turn.
and knee up, that'll help. It is just a quarter turn.
I'm trying to go a lot further.
Exactly, as a lot of people are. Just
Oh,
knee up.
I'm trying.
And the knee is like, I'm not going up.
I don't wanna go up.
that was a jump.
Getting there. That's it, Mr. Lewis. So, in a perfect world, this doesn't stop with your knee in the air, but it does pause for that little bit of a beat. So it's here. So there is just that hint of a, like, I could stop if I wanted to. I could tell this stuff if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna stop.
Very good.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Does it matter if this point the toe or do I
No,
need to
it
have
doesn't.
Okay,
It's
good.
it's okay.
Because I
Yeah.
point the toe.
It's a kung fu. It's-
Yeah.
So it's kind of a neutral foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, nobody's gonna be like, you pointed your toe, that's wrong.
There are certain things that are like, no, point, it's not fair.
Yeah, and this one is so quick, it doesn't really matter, because it's, yeah, it's because you're just instantly gonna step out with it. The only thing I would think that pointing it too deliberately would make it hard to step, because you then have to like, oh, I'm flexed, oh, I have to step. Does that make sense?
Toes.
Yes, yes. Head suspended makes a big difference, right? So, just a couple more on that, and then we'll, as promised, talk about that heel kick. How do we do the left heel kick? All right, so, the left heel kick. This is the last left heel kick before the last right heel kick before the end of the section. So, it comes from, kick with right heel here. And then it's just a reverse of the other one. Like, that's probably not helpful. But it is just a reverse.
Okay.
So I brought back, take a step here. Because I'm at an angle for my box of tiger's ears. Now I'm going to rock back and realign myself on the grid, as I like to call it. Take down, step in, lift. And really 90 degrees, like square on, no, towards the, if they're even out a little bit, it's going to make it harder to balance. There you go. That's correct. That's correct. Yes. Yes.
Oops. But no, we were balanced.
It was close. Take your time getting into that.
Not sure extra time helps.
Well, a couple of things. So, this is very good correction just for you. There's not a correction, it should be. So, try to resist the urge of when you sink and step, try not to come up when you kick. That's going to make your balance more top heavy. Anything you stay the same or sink a tiny bit more. Because particularly if my head is not suspended and I'm leaning over, and then I stand up, that is killer hard. And it's really hard. So, head suspended, I'm sunk, I stay sunk. I didn't come up out of it. Yeah, very good. So, resist the elevator of the knee elevator. If anything, go down half a floor.
I can get it sometimes.
I know, but hopefully these little tweaks help you understand that it's not aptitude, it's probably a leaning over or a coming up out of it. You know, it isn't that I just can't do it and I'm terrible at this. It's probably, well, you don't come up out of your knee. I mean, there's a little widget that's going to help you get it, which I always found really encouraging about Tai Chi. Is usually it's user error, not user not able to. Yeah, very good.
When you box the tiger ear and you pivot, I'm having
Yes.
some issues when I pivot. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm balanced right here.
Okay, so let's see, balance right there, so. So the hands are fluid,
Okay.
because they go from here, then they undo.
Yeah, I'm keeping it close to the body when I come around.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So-
I'm bringing it in close.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
they
leaving out.
do a big circle this way, and then they kind of unwind that circle and come back up. I suspect your hand, yep, and then pivot and open them, and then close them as you step up. It feels a little bit like saber. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
So for the camera, if you didn't see, go ahead and practice for just another minute or two before we bow out. If you did not see over there what you may be having trouble with these kicks, head suspended, super, super, super important. So what I mean by that is in my kicks, if I'm leaning over or if I'm looking, it's a lot harder. So I want to be aligned with my head suspended in the line of gravity so that it can help me, not hinder me. And then the other thing is try not to come up on your standing leg when you do your kicks. That will make it a whole lot harder. If anything, you stay the same level of sink, or you sink even just a tiny bit more. So show you what I mean. I've sunk, and I stay sunk for my kick, versus I sink and I come up, and even without wobbling, which I did, I feel so much more muscle strain in my leg, because it's my leg strength that's kind of holding me up like, I don't know, like a failing chopstick. My leg is about to snap, versus I feel balanced, not right there, there. I've got a pretty good level of bend in my knee there. I'm not here, I'm here. So those two things might help you with your kicks. Head suspended, make sure you're not leaning over or listing to one direction, and don't stand up on your standing leg. Keep it bent when you do your heel kicks. Any last questions before we go on?
I think one of my problems all the time is it's a class and we're going in a flow, and I find it sometimes easier to go slower, but then I'm behind.
Understood. So, and real quickly, that is always a challenge. He's talking about, he might feel inspired that he needs to go a little slower in order to catch the fine tunes of the movement, but in a class, sometimes you're going faster and then you end up out of line. Classic Tai Chi class problem. So,
I get it, I'm just working on it.
no, but I mean, I just want, you know, I'm sure there's people at home that have the same thing. So it's always a little bit of a grab bag as instructors. We try to get the right pace for their class. Sometimes we get it, most of the time we get it, sometimes we don't get it. But just try to get frustrated by that and try to, as best you can.
I'm not frustrated, I'm just noticing.
So there's different paces. There's your home practice pace, there's your class pace, there's test pace, there's, just try to, just go with it as best you can. In class, it is mostly important to try to stay with the group as best you're able. It's not always able, but because sometimes then, I mean, especially with weapons, you can get hurt. Because if you're 2 moves behind plank, now you've been impaled, and that's not good. So just try your best and try. You seem really good at not getting discouraged. I'm 2 moves behind now. Just,
Too old to get discouraged.
and I'm here. All right, let's go ahead and bow out.
Yes, ma'am.
Head instructor.
Bow to intermediate and the